my name is Liz and today we're going to celebrate Dr. Seuss's new book. I know, posthumous books, what is this? What is this about? But it is called What Pet Should I Get? And it is featuring the brother and sister from One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. If you're like me and you grew up with these books with reading Cat in the Hat and Cat in the Hat Comes Back and previously mentioned One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, and several others, Hop on Pop, Green Eggs and Ham. Those are some of my favorites, but there's some that I haven't read. I hadn't read The Lorax. I know, it's classic Seuss, and I had not read it yet. I have seen like the first 5 minutes of the movie. I generally knew what it was about, like the point of it, but I hadn't read it, and the whole experience with Dr. Seuss is that you have to read it out loud. If you don't read it out loud, it's just, you're not going to get the same effect, and so I definitely grew up reading to my sister, reading Cat in the Hat, Cat Hat Comes Back, and some of these other ones, but, you know, I sat down about 10 minutes ago and read through this out loud to myself, and that's just, it's just the Doctor Who? What? I'm just getting really nerdy up here, but this is The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, and I just want to read a little bit of it, and, I was sent this hat and this book by the lovely Random House, the publisher of, you know, such modern classics, going to be classics, as What Pet Should I Get? How does the cat wear the hat? I'm sure this is for children. So this is The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, and it was written in, what year was it written in? Because I like to know these things. It was written in 1971, and renewed in 1999, but this is like kind of the original artwork. It says, "For Audrey, Lark, and Leah with love. At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing except for old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. Where was the Lorax? Why was it here? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere far end of town where the grickle grass grows? And the old Onceler still lives there. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum cold under the roof where he makes his own clothes out of Miff Muff Moof. And on special dank midnights in August he peeks out of shutters and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope he lets down a tin pail where you have to toss in 50 cents and a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grovelous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell you for your ears alone. Slump down slumps a whisper my phone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had small bees up his nose. Now I tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. And I leave you with that cliffhanger. What up, Rick Riordan? Who's got the game now? I really enjoyed this whole book. I enjoyed reading it out loud to myself. I enjoyed the fun words that Dr. Seuss writes and these just crazy things. Like I was reading it out loud and there's a word in there, I think it's like nude or something like that, and there's all these like truffula trees and thingama somethings and biggering, and you think about like when you're at a loss for words and you just like make up something, it feels kind of like that, but not like in a sloppy way, but just in a fun way where you're just like, yeah, that makes sense, that's pretty cool. So I very much enjoyed this and I love this so much, and this is a part of a little blog tour of sorts, so if you want to go check out some of those, I will post some links below to some of my friends and go check that out. So hope you guys have a great day. Go check out What Pet Should I Get by Dr. Seuss and keep reading.